Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is a journal with me from a small town Christmas event that we went to. So one of the small towns near us hosts a Christmas festival, I'll call it, in their downtown area. So you go from business to business and everybody hosted something different. So there was cookie decorating and Santa was there and we decorated ornaments and they had a bunch of giveaways and all kinds of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. So what I've tucked into that pocket is a map of the downtown that showed where everything was. And then right now I'm working with this photo of my girls in Santa's sleigh, visiting him. This is actually the second time this year that we've seen Santa. And he was honestly not the best Santa. We've had worse, but this guy was probably like 35. So he was really young and he clearly had a brown beard that he had sprayed like some kind of hair dye that you would use for like Halloween, white hair dye in it. So it was clearly not white. So he was not the most convincing. My younger two are 6 and 3, so they did not notice. But my oldest is 9 and she totally noticed. And this has been the year where she has figured out the truth about Santa. And it happened like 2 days after this. She told me, she was like, the kids at school are saying, that it's parents that do it. And I don't know if I believe. And Mom, is he real? And that was like the hardest conversation ever. So we have lost belief in Santa for one of our littles, and it was really sad. And honestly, I think the 35-year-old Santa might have had something to do with it, but oh well, it was time. She's 9, but still sad. So I'm just backing this photo of all 3 girls in Santa's sleigh onto this plaid paper, and then I'm going to stick it on top of this linen that I printed. That linen's actually mine, but it's not in the shop because I don't have anything else to add to a pack with it just yet, but it will be eventually. Because it's pretty. So, but it's not there yet. So now I'm going to add this vintage flashcard that says Reindeer. I'm just cutting it down a little bit so that it will fit because it's just a touch taller than my journal. Behind Santa, you can't see it in this photo, but I will add photos to it later. They had some live reindeer that a guy who owns, I guess, a reindeer farm had brought to the event too. So we got to see the reindeer and the girls got to pet the reindeer and they were like baby reindeer. I don't know. There were 2 and I don't know how old the older one was, but the younger one, he said, was only 6 months old. And you guys, if you've never seen a baby reindeer before, holy crap, they're cute. Like, wow, adorable. I would kind of want to pet reindeer now because they're just the sweetest. Now, he did also have the antler rack from his adult male that he has, and it was humongous. So they're not going to stay cute and tiny forever, but boy, oh boy, are they adorable when they're little. So I'm using some washi tape to tape that flashcard in, and then I'm going to add photos to the back of it on the other side. I have a couple reindeer die cuts. That one is vintage. This one is from Pretty Little Studio on Etsy. And this is the one that I add to this flashcard. So I'm just sticking it down with double-sided tape from my tape runner. Then I'm going to add a couple staples just to make sure that it stays stuck. So now I'm trying to figure out the best way to add this photo to this short page. And I'm going to try a whole bunch of different ways and eventually stick it down as a pocket so that I can tuck some journaling behind it, but then end up not using that. So we're going to go do a little bit of a roundabout here, but that's okay. As you can see, when I journal, especially at Christmas, I don't know why, but my desk is a huge mess. So I have my stuff like everywhere. I think it's because I feel like if I don't see it all, I'm going to forget to use it. So I take it all out, dump it everywhere, and then play with it. So hold for just a moment here while I search for my double-sided tape. I have two, but one is stronger than the other, and then it has disappeared. Still can't find it, so don't know where that went, but that's what this little break is about. I'm searching for my double-sided tape under the desk. And then I'll come back up and decide that I'll just use the other one, but then I can't find that one either. It's a little bit of a hot mess over here, you guys. It's probably because my desk is such a mess, huh? There it is. So now I'm going to use that to stick this photo down as a pocket. Pardon my head. And that little reindeer book that you see me playing with is from KB and Friends on Etsy. I printed them out last year, and they come in quite a large pack, honestly. You get a lot for what you're paying her. So I thought it was cute because it said reindeer on it, but I didn't like how the blue didn't go with the rest of the colors here. So I end up not using that, and actually end up not using anything, but that's okay. I tried for a while. So now I'm going to come back to this first page and just add a label sticker so that I can use it as a place to write later. I'm going to try and stick it here, and then at the very last second, flop it down on the bottom. So now I have a whole bunch of photos here and this linen that I had originally intended to use on this page, but then forgot because, again, the desk is messy. That's okay though. And so now I'm just trying to figure out what photos that I have left absolutely need to go into the book and what ones I can maybe tuck inside a pocket or something else. And then I decide that this page, this little spread is boring and I need to add something to spice it up. So I go for the world's thinnest Christmas washi. That doesn't add a whole lot, but just enough. Later I add a piece of ephemera too, but I do that off camera. So sometimes these pages come in fits and starts, and eventually they work out, but it takes a while to get there. So here I'm just working out what photos are going to go where, and I'm going to stick this linen printable down on top of that pocket to give myself a place to write later. I have this photo of my girls outside one of the churches where we decorated cookies, and so I'm going to want to stick that photo down, but I'm looking for something to back it with to set it off. And I liked this, but I'd already used a linen, so I end up pulling out some more scrapbook. Oh, nope, this printable. So this is a pattern sheet that has a big snowflake on it. That is actually in an ephemera kit in my Etsy shop if you want it. I printed it real small like this, so I'm just going to use that to build up the background of that page. And it was cute, that church. We don't do a lot of cookie baking. I just don't bake. So they got to do, the whole classic decorate a sugar cookie thing without me having to put in that much effort. That sounds terrible, but without me having to do it. I'm going to stick this photo of my husband and I that my oldest took while we waited for the parade on the back of that pocket page. And then I'm going to fold this map down a little bit more so that I can tuck it into the pocket, but you can still see that there's a photo there. So now I have these photos of my younger two eating s'mores. So the Boy Scouts had set up little fire pits in the middle of the street and then sold s'mores kits. So we bought a couple s'mores kits for everybody and then roasted our marshmallows in the middle of the street. And I've never had, like, s'mores have always been a summer thing for me, so I've never had them in the winter. And I gotta tell you, it changes the experience a little bit. Like, the chocolate got hard right away, but the marshmallow tasted so much better. I don't know if something to do with the cold. I'm totally like losing it. I have no idea, but it was really good. So I highly recommend winter s'mores. So on this page, I'm going to take some washi tape and tape down this piece from a cut apart scrapbook sheet as a flip up to hide a photo behind it so that that page is just a little less photo heavy. And I don't remember if this washi is, I think it's from Hobby Lobby, but it's possibly from some kind of like pack, you know, but it does not stick very well. And actually, I seem to have that problem with a lot of my Christmas washi. I don't know if it's because I buy it from brands that I don't typically buy from, so maybe it's just the brand, but I don't know. Eventually, I will use some clear tape to make sure that the ends of that washi just stay stuck down. But first, I'm going to use this red and white plaid paper to back some photos. And then this one I'm going to stick there under the fold up so that it is hidden when it is folded down. The Grinch was also at this event. We saw him right before we did the s'mores. It was the Grinch and Cindy Lou. And my youngest was too scared to stand by the Grinch, but she would stand by Cindy Lou, so that worked out okay. Everybody else didn't care, but she was like, I ain't going near him. We love I think it's from 2018, animated Grinch version. So we always watch that one. It is so funny. And the message is good, and it's not like, it's funny for adults, but not like in a raunchy way with innuendo and all that. It's just plain funny. So we like it, the kids like it. It's hilarious. So now I'm backing those two photos of my girls with their s'mores onto more of that plaid paper. And then I'm going to stick that on the bottom of that page there. I'm sorry, you see a lot of my head in this video. Apologies. Yep, there we go. So now I'm grabbing my hole punch, and I have this, it's just curling ribbon that they use to tie the s'more kits shut. So I'm going to punch a couple holes into that little ephemera piece there, and then tie that curling ribbon through it. And this added a little bit of bulk, I'm not going to lie. Something that was perhaps less dimensional would have probably been better. But I was really stuck on the idea of keeping this ribbon in there because it was like one of the only pieces of ephemera from the actual event that I had. So I didn't want to throw it away. So I think it'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. Now, yep, that tape is not sticking. I have this business card we bought something from one of the local businesses that was doing a giveaway while we were there. So I have that, and then I have all of these extra photos that aren't making it into this session. So I'm putting them inside this vintage Christmas treat bag. And then I'm going to tuck that in that pocket with the map. And there we are. So this is, I've done my writing off camera. Just added mostly annotation, a little bit of journaling, a couple of stickers, and stuff like that, just to tell the story of what we did and where we were. So that's it. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon in my next video. Bye.